family has always been big into conspiracies. My brother likes to ramble about the Illuminati and believes that Obama and the Antichrist. My mom can trace literally anything in life back to being the government's fault and constantly worries about being arrested and shipped overseas for no reason. My dad, although staying silent most of the time, agrees with what my mom says. It just really annoys the hell out of me when I hear them all spewing out the end of 2012, the end of the world garbage, so I usually attempted to slip quietly to my room. That is, before my mother follows me and decides to continue her half of the conversation from just outside my door. For the last year, I've been kind of keeping more to myself. When I'm not in class or doing the countless hours of homework per week that I have to do, I'm usually doing the typical hermit teenage stuff. Watching TV, screwing around on the internet, knitting, or playing video games. I really enjoy horror games and movies, and just scary stuff in general. I use the past tense of enjoy because it's safe for me to say that no, I do not enjoy them anymore. Going back over a year or so, I finally had saved up enough money to buy a laptop. Something that I thought was cool about it, that it came in with a built-in microphone and webcam. Two things I have never had before. The first thing that my brother told me to do was put a piece of masking tape over my webcam. He also said, whatever I do, don't sleep with my laptop open. He thinks people can watch you for your webcam, even when it's not on. Like I was about to believe that. Him being older than I was since we were kids, he always was trying to bully me into being gullible, getting me to eat dog biscuits when I was 5, insisting that if I did, I would know how to speak dog, or telling me to lick a 9-volt battery for God knows what reason. Fucking asshole. As I've grown up, I've come to learn and trust him and less, and this whole people spying on me through my webcam business sounded like some sort of idiotic. For the first few months, I suffered from insomnia, and the only way that I could get to sleep was for some type of white noise machine. Every night I had the same routine. After finishing my homework, I would watch an episode or two of whatever show I seemed to be fixated with at the time of Netflix or Hulu. Then I'd plug in my laptop and set on my nightstand in front of me. And then when I got to randymood.com, before shutting off my screen light and letting the rain noises lull me to sleep. At the time, I was associated with the nightmares of insomnia, figured that it might be just some side effect. It was bizarre though. I've always had vivid dreams, but I never had any nightmares since I was a kid. I thought of it was something everyone grew out of, and although it wasn't the same dream every night, it was the same basic concept. There's always the sound of rain. I presumed that it was the white noise before I fell asleep. I walk into the room, usually something familiar, my bedroom, my dad's workshop, the daycare room that I work at, my old high school feeder, or my English classroom at college. But there was always people waiting for me there. All the people I knew, my mom, my dad, brother, neighbors, both old and current friends and teachers, and sometimes even some of the children when I watch while I'm at work. They're all lined up around the perimeter of the room, shoulder to shoulder, staring at me. None said a word. They just stare. I move around the room. Their eyes follow me. A dozen chilling, terrifying stares drill into my dream. But I never had sense to flee the area. After the entity of the tense silence, someone finally speaks, and it's my brother. He says, "Don't mind us. We're only here to observe. Carry on." Frightened in a cold sweat, I do what I'm told. I do my homework, I knit, I play a video game. Whenever I look up from my task, they look at me, scowling angrily. Then they all take one simultaneous step forward, tightening the area around me. I panic and look back to my task at hand. My fingers forget how to write, or type, or knit, or do anything. And whenever I fumble and my productively stops, I feel anger, the pure malice from these people who I've come to know and care for. I feel my skin tingling. They take another step. Claustrophobia then sets in, and I start hyperventilating and break out in cold sweat. Another step, I heard growling. This inhuman, not even animal-like dog-sounding growl came from the wall of, oh God, I can't even call them people. These things surrounding me. It's something that you wouldn't be able to recreate with special effects, even if you tried. It's the most disturbing thing I've ever heard. Another step, another step. With the enclosure narrowed down to less than a foot on my every side of me, I feel a hand on my back. I always assume the worst, that perhaps the hand is going to tear out the back of my skull, but jagged the nails as I ran through my hair. I hear a voice. Hush now. I turn to see a figure, someone I have never met before. He is so disoriented, and there was no way that I could have never met someone like this. Maybe except a costume party on Halloween. His eyes are missing. There is nothing but two big black holes where they should be. He smiles. The dark red liquid slides off of his jagged teeth, and his hands on the lower lip. He suddenly grabs the back of my hair and jerks me around until I'm facing the crowd of people I used to recognize. He then laughs like a madman. Dim the lights to make it harder to make everything out. They all have very dark circles under their eyes and red pupils. They glare at me with pure hatred. Everyone's all right, and with that they all lunge at me, screeching. At this point where I woke up. Sleep paralysis usually leads me to panic, crying like a child. I could still feel the tightness around my throat, jagged nails in my hair, and the pressure in my chest. My pillow is always drenched in sweat. I never connected the two until now, but I've always get this nightmare whenever I leave my laptop open when I sleep. Let's see. I fell asleep around 11 last night, and if the time is 3:53 a.m. now, I would say about 45 minutes ago I woke up. I turned over and reached for my glasses so I could check the time. I couldn't find my phone, so since my laptop was right in front of me, I turned on the screen so I can see the clock. Something else caught my eye. Skype was opened. I am currently on the phone number with 000-000-0000. The time call was 4:25:11. Oh man, I've seen this in my dream in all these months and is on the other line. He is still watching me. He has said one thing to me. Don't mind me. I'm only here to observe. Carry on. If you leave anyone with any piece of advice, it's this. Don't ever sleep with your laptop open. That was Don't Mind Me, a creepypasta. My final thoughts on this story. I'm gonna be honest. This one was definitely a pretty freaky creepypasta. Involving the fact that, somebody who leaves their laptop open ends up seeing freaky shit going on. Apparently when the protagonist woke up from the dream, their Skype was up and they end up having like this weird call by someone. I mean, it's not really clear as to who was calling the protagonist or anything, but it honestly leaves me to wonder what could possibly have happened or something. It's still a really good story, but I could definitely say this is definitely one that I really gotta say was definitely a story I never expected to, read. But yeah, getting back to the whole thing, I actually remember listening to a couple narrations of this story. So I remember Creepypasta narrated this one and a couple of others. But the idea of, people, if you still have the laptop open, that people can watch your move or anything. I mean, that is a possibility. That's kind of why I have, a piece of tape over my camera of my laptop. Because I'm just, paranoid that, someone could be watching me or something, even if it's not on. But you never really know. That's why I do that, just for safety reasons on my laptop. I've always had that ever since I guess ever since my mom started seeing cameras at certain places, she starts getting a little paranoid, if that makes sense. Now, anyways, with that being said, I still thought it was a pretty good story. It does have a really good concept, and it was honestly freaky. I'm not gonna lie. This story is definitely something I really gotta say about this story. It's a pretty good one, but it's also really freaky how somebody could be watching your every move. And about somebody, calling this person on a Skype call, I mean, that's honestly surprising as to why that happened or something. Like maybe the person was sleep playing on the laptop or something. I don't really know. This honestly gives me some questions as to what went down and what actually happened or something. But yeah, the whole idea of the camera could still contain people watching you even though you don't have your camera on. Even if it's in laptops or something. I always put my laptop, I always close it before I go to bed because you never know what could happen. And yeah, that always gives me paranoid when it came to that. So that's pretty much why I put the tape over for the camera of my laptop. So anyways, with that being said and that being the case, the grammar of the story is pretty good and the sentence structuring was well done and stuff. It's a enjoyable narration and this is an enjoyable story. Now, I can't really find out who the original author of this story is, so I'm going to leave it as anonymous for now. If I ever find out who the original author of this story is, I'll be sure to give him or her proper credit. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as anonymous until I find out who the original author of the story is. So, author of the story, if you somehow come across my channel, feel free to let me know you're the author of the story so I'll be able to give you proper credit. So, for now on, I'll just leave it as anonymous for now unless said otherwise. Anyways, with that being said and that being the case, pretty good story. I recommend it. I mean, it's pretty freaky and this kind of gives me some vibes of, paranoia about somebody could actually access your camera to watch you even though it's not on. That's a fear that a lot of people have. And I mean, paranoia is another thing too. But with that being said and that being the case, it's a pretty good story. I recommend it. It's a fun story to narrate and I recommend checking it out on the regular Creepypasta Wiki, even though I will be linking the story down in the description so you guys can go take a look at it. So, anyways, with that being said and that being the case, like I'm going to say, this is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these creepypastas. This is just simply my own personal thoughts. I'm going to give this story a 10 out of 10. It's a really interesting story. It does give me some, explanation of why people could be paranoid when it comes to, having laptop cameras, and why most of them seem to have, paper or tape over it. So I can definitely understand why that's be the case. Because I would be too if I didn't have it on, which thankfully I do. So anyways, what did you guys personally think of this creepypasta? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally helped make this story a lot better. Feel free to leave me now what your thoughts are down in the comments below. I'm the Lion Queen. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications when I upload so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, please roll the outro because I'm out.